It's day 4. Would you look at that? It's a little late today, but let's see with all my hair. Got a nice, got my anime hair now. It'll eventually grow back, right? Jeez. What's today? February 10th. It'll probably post a little too late, but that's all right. Anyway, here's the next day of doing the thing. I'm thinking about making not a script, but a topic of the day, and discussing that for these kinds of videos going forward. Did I take a photo today? I did take a photo today. Okay, cool. That's fun. What's today? What are we gonna? How am I still coughing? It's a good question. I wonder if, as well, I can make it so it doesn't pick up that fan sound all the time, as if you care about that, and maybe a better video camera too would be nice. But we digress. I was visiting some friends today. We were discussing the politics of the world, and it seems that politics are always a very dividing factor, at least in this current era of time, where there's a strong hatred for the other faction, so to speak, the Democrats and Republicans at this point. It seems like you either believe one or the other, and whichever one you believe, the other side is your enemy, right? Like there's this real division of humanity, at least in America. I can't speak to other countries. I don't know too much about their politics. But in America, there's a very strong division of the two sides, the two parties. And for most that I've met, at least, they will hate the other side with a strong passion. And I really mean like they will not tolerate them in ways that we should be tolerating people who have differing opinions than ourselves. We at some point we're a country of acceptance of differing opinions and differing ideas, but we find ourselves able to hate those who have a differing political ideology than our own. And when we think about that, at least when I think about that, I think about the ideas of hatred towards anything. If we're discriminating or causing other people trouble for anything, we try our best to accept them. However, when it comes to politics, though, that's a different story. We drop our gloves at politics and we say, no, we're gonna duke it out. But it's a strange thing how we've been conditioned in a way to not accept the other side, and as soon as we hear that somebody likes this candidate or that candidate, we have strong feelings. Either we like them or we dislike them. And it's a very sorry. It's a very dividing factor in life about all of this political differences. And it shouldn't be. We should be able to get along, because this division is going to destroy us, just on the nature of holding on to this strong-rooted hatred. And we can't accept the other side of our counterparts, so to say. We have a strong difficulty accepting that other people will think differently than us. Hopefully someday that changes. And I hope that I'm wrong, though. That maybe my analysis is wrong. Maybe there is something. I'm just maybe in the city that I'm in that there's a lot of hatred towards the other side. But I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that there's more love in United States between folks, but I haven't had much evidence that says so. I'm not sure why we've been fooled into thinking that political beliefs are grounds for hatred and stopping to acknowledge people as humans with their own opinions and their own ideas that matter. Uh, we're all fools when it comes to politics. That we think we're right from our perspective, and the other party thinks that they're right from their perspective. In both cases, they're right. Both sides are right for their own interests. So, even though I may not agree with one side or the other on certain things, it's still important to understand that they're human beings with their own perspectives and our own perspectives on everything. This is part of the process of being human, isn't it? That we are alive and we have this uniqueness to us. Every one of us is born with this uniqueness in our bodies and our minds. And we should be able to express that and be respected for expressing that, even if we disagree with one another. There's certain things I don't like and I don't want to watch. There's certain movies I don't like to watch. There's certain TV shows I don't like to watch, and there's many that I do like to watch. But I shouldn't hate the other side just because I don't like it, right? Like, I shouldn't be like, wow, anyone who watches that show is an evil person just because they like it, or they're just foolish and idiotic. No, it's just everyone has a different preference. Same with music, same with everything. Types of food they like to eat, the whole shebang. So that's the perspective that we were talking about today with politics, which is where we're at, and I don't care too much for politics. It's usually things beyond my control anyway. I know a lot of people will go out and protest and riot, and usually the large politicians in charge never care. Most politicians know that riots and protests are not going to do much good to change them. It would have to be a real uprising, like a very significant uprising, for some kind of protest to make an actual political change. Maybe on a local level, you might have some control over that, but on a national scale, it's going to be virtually impossible. Never impossible, but close. You would need, like I said, very, very large uprising to make something like that happen. But I guess it's happened before. It's happened before, so maybe it's not impossible. But the whole country would have to be on board, pretty much. Anyway, politics are... that's my thoughts on politics. I can't do much about it, so why am I worrying about it? And why do I care what other people think? I think a lot of it is how we grow up too, and the people we grow up with that helps decide our feelings on politics. We look at our peers and see what they're expressing, and we still like to be liked by our peers. So I think it's very natural for a lot of people to adopt what they're just surrounded with, either if it's parents or friends or things like that. Which begs the question: is it our own decision, like politically? Seems like where we grow up has a huge impact on that. Not guaranteed, but does have a large impact on political values. Well, once again, if I can't change it, if I can't make a difference with it, I got other things to worry about. If politics is your specific field and you can make a difference, good. Then I'm glad you exist. Keep at it, which is great. But anyway, that's the thoughts of now. The other things we were discussing was artificial intelligence, as everyone also has an opinion on that, or most people do. Um, I think at this point in time, being afraid of technology that isn't going away isn't going to help. There will always be parts of technology that help, parts of technology that hurt, but it's not going away. Like the internet. Internet did help a lot. It hurt a lot as well. I think we all know that, and AI is going to do the same thing. It's going to help in many ways. It's going to hurt in some ways too. And I'm sure whatever is the next thing beyond AI or beyond our technology is going to have the same. It's always going to be there's pros and cons to these things. But ultimately, we all think and agree that there is some value in AI, enough to keep it around. And so I think that it's not going anywhere. And most people would probably agree with that. But anyway, that's, that's that. Whew. It was a fun day, though. Hanging out with friends, enjoying a good time. And, you know, what's today? Monday? Back to work, all that good stuff. I ended up not going through with the house that I was discussing the other day, and yeah, the house had an issue. It didn't. The house was actually pretty nice, but it was right next to a railroad, and a railroad crossing where these freight trains have to like honk their horn because there's no like, gates to block the traffic. So instead, they honk their horn. And I talked to some people, and they said that they honk their horn all the way through the night, which is pretty hard for sleep. Oh man. So I canceled that contract, and I think it's important to stand up for yourself when you think that something isn't going to work out for you. To speak your mind and not be silent about it, and say something, and be say like, "Hey, this isn't going to work. I need to make adjustments along the way." And that's an important skill for all of us, I think, is to make sure that we speak our minds on things that aren't working in our way, or if they are working our way. It's important to express ourselves in that way too. And we shouldn't feel afraid of being awkward or making someone else's life difficult or something like that. At the very least, expressing it and figuring out what options are available to alleviate that discomfort or that concern. We were created with a voice, and I think it's important to use it when we need to. There's definitely excessive uses of voice, but there are times when we just need to. There are very important times to use it as well. So yeah, that's what's new. That's what's new for today. But all right, that's day 4, and we're gonna keep on going and try to make it for as long as we can. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow.